Hey, YouTube. Hi, Spotify. I never know exactly when these videos begin. Tonight, I'm going to come to you and talk to you about a follow-up um, on the other video that I did, which was about alcohol and the effects on the prefrontal cortex. So I'm really hoping, because I did another video before and I didn't make it through because my cats got a little crazy, because when I start talking to the camera, they get a little crazy. Um, so tonight, real kind of briefly, we're going to talk about the importance of advocating for GHB home tests because for women. So I know this personally because I know I have been a victim of GHB put into my drinks. And that for everyone who doesn't know, that's the date rape drug, or also known as roofies. And I don't know very much scientifically about it, but what I do know is it's supposed to put you into some sort of like temporary amnesia state and make you definitely forget about whatever happened, but also an extremely impaired state. It's like worse than drinking. When combined with alcohol, it's obviously worse than drinking. But I do believe it's a sedative hypnotic maybe. So th again, that's just I could be wrong about that because again, I haven't studied or reviewed it recently, but I do know that I have had way too many clients, female clients in my private practice who have come to me and shared very traumatic stories of having been roofied. And, I know there's all the ads out there, but the thing is how easily it can be slipped into a drink. I've even had clients say that they thought the bartender was in on putting the roofies in their drink. So even if they get the drink straight from the bartender, what we need to have is a at-home test for females or males or whoever feels that they got roofied. Because this drug, I know not only is it just being used on women in an everyday dating sense, but I do believe it's also being used in other nefarious purposes for intelligence gathering, for gathering blackmail on people. I think maybe it had a part in some of the stuff that went on with the Epstein files. Do I have any proof of that? No. But I'm just going to, I do believe that the Epstein files were an intelligence gathering to blackmail people with, underage interactions um and so we haven't totally uncovered all of that, but that is my gut instinct about that what that is all about. And I could almost guarantee GHB was in there somewhere. So the whole point is it's flying under the radar right now. And it is one of those drugs that can do so much damage to women. I mean, I can't tell you that it's tragic to me. It makes me really sad. The stories that I've heard from my clients who make it home after a night, they really didn't think they had one or two drinks, but they had like a horrific story that they told me afterwards, and they're not sure if they had sex with a person. They quote don't think so or not sure. I mean, just horrific, shame-inducing, embarrassing stories that I firmly believe are being used as blackmail out there. So I just want to say, women out there, I hope we can all advocate for a GHB home test because, again, by the time you come home, typically women will sleep off whatever, horrible, whatever hangover or alcohol they drink. And so by the time they wake up and wonder, like, what the heck was that? The GHB can be out of their system because it's a short acting, it's out of your system very quickly. And so if you don't get to the hospital within a certain amount of time after having it given it to you or given to you, you very often can test for not having it. You test as not having it when really you just didn't catch it in time. So I think what's really important for women and anyone out there who feels they could be a victim of GHB um, is to advocate for an at-home test. And, we have all these other tests for drugs, but I don't care if we have to pee on it or a little prick of blood or whatever. But I'm pretty sure that most women would pay for something like that. And it would really validate if people have been, GHB drugged or not. And so I really wanted to put that out there as kind of a PSA. I really hope this happens. And also I wanted to put this out there because I can't even tell you, like I said, probably 50% of my clientele, and this is through the years, maybe that's high, maybe it's like 30 to 40%, but have told me some story without knowing that I know this for all my other clients, but have told me some horrific story about how they have had some night or some horrible experience where they feel that GHB could have been used and they didn't get it tested and they didn't know. So they're left with these feelings of like, what was that? What happened? Did I drink too much? Like they don't know. And that's typically, especially my clients are not big. Well, my current clients are not big drinkers. Um, I can't even think of one who is. And so, for these horrific incidents to have happened to them, again, I feel like there's nefarious purposes involved. I feel like there's intelligence agencies who do try to get blackmail on people this way, whether they know it or not. And so, due to all of these reasons, just for safety for women, I'm not trying to fearmonger, but I am saying, like I said, I even had female clients who were pretty sure that the GHB came from a bartender. And so that's even like, more horrific. So I don't think many bartenders out there are doing that, but I'm just saying that, they always tell you watch your drink. Well, it's like, well, what if you're getting it straight from the bar and you see, so I really hope that number one, this video helps to normalize any woman out there who has gone through this experience. If you have had that happen to you, it is not your fault. You didn't, quote, put yourself in the position to be roofied. We all have the right to go out and have a good time and be safe about it. And we do not, just because we choose to drink alcohol, that does not make you a victim of being roofied is like justified or validated in any way, and especially if something horrific happens to you. And so my heart goes out to all of you who have had something like that happen, and just know that I'm sending you love, and I hope you don't feel isolated. I hope you talk about it because it's happened to more women than you think. And so I just want to send love to you and also say it really is a practical thing. We should advocate. I'm not into politics right at this moment, but I have been, and you know, I'm into serving each other. And what I feel like is important is that we do come up with an at-home test for women for GHB. So I hope that this message at the very least normalizes if it has happened to you. It's happened to me too, and it's happened to a lot of my female clients. And I just really hope we get it under control because it is an epidemic that is not talked about nearly enough, and it's used for horrible purposes. And my heart goes out to women. I hope it never happens to you. And I would tell, teach your kiddos the importance of watching their drinks, but also, like, again, we just need to advocate for at-home tests because that's really the only way is if you go home and like right away before you even go to sleep, you like pee on something or like, get a prick of blood or whatever. So I hope we can make that a thing in the near future, and I will see you next time.